Bore da. This morning I want to read to you the first 7 verses of Psalm 95. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is great, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. Let's consider that 6th verse this morning. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. Now, does this verse mean that we should always bow down, literally, when we worship God? You see, the Hebrew word translated as worship literally means to bow down. In Psalm 95 and verse 6, the psalmist uses 3 different terms to describe bowing down, which is the foundational posture of worship in the Old Testament. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. Each of the words convey the image of bowing low, bending the knee, and kneeling. They are meant to inspire the worshipper to bring himself low before God. Not so much physically, but humbly as he worships. You see, in the ancient world, and even in some cultures today, bowing down was the appropriate sign of respect when entering the presence of someone to whom reverence was due. Bending down expressed honor, submission, and allegiance to a higher authority. For this reason, the Israelites reserved this action for God and for God alone. They were forbidden to bow down to false gods or idols. Kneeling or bowing down signifies a posture of humility and submission, both physically and mentally, bodily and in the heart. When we bow down in worship, we acknowledge God's exalted place and accept our own lowly, surrendered position. The psalmist says, the Lord is great in Zion. He is exalted above all the peoples. Above all else, our attitude is what matters in worship. Our hearts must always humbly bow down when we worship God, even when our bodies do not. You see, the Bible gives examples of worshippers in many physical positions beside bowing down. Sometimes people fell facewards to the ground before the Lord, Nehemiah 8:6. Other times they stood to sing songs of thanks and praise, Leviticus 9 and 5. Miriam led the women of Israel to dance before the Lord, Exodus 15 and 20. When the Ark of the Covenant was carried back to Jerusalem, David leapt and danced in worship, 2 Samuel 6:14 to 16. At the dedication of the temple, Solomon knelt with his hands raised towards heaven, 1 Kings 8:54. The Bible gives precedence for several different postures in worship. We do not need to be physically bowing down in worship, as long as our inner being honestly and humbly is submitted to God in reverence. Doesn't the Apostle Paul, when writing to the church in Rome, say, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercies, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." You see, bowing down is merely an outward expression of an inner attitude of humility, reverence, and submission. Jesus said, "God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship him in spirit and in truth." To worship God in spirit and truth means that we honor him with our entire being, our heart, our soul, our mind, and our strength. So with our attitude, let us bow the knee today and let us live a life of worship. Pob endith. Have a great day.